Lee Murray was the type of guy that you just knew did not give a f***. And he would step into any scenario without any fear.
Lee Murray was that crazy English hoodlum. The hoodlum who robbed the bank. You don't know the story? He was a part of the biggest bank robbery in like the history of Great Britain.
Oh, wow.
It's like some fucking lock, stock, and two smoking barrels type shit. Like,
and they made a movie about it?
They're making a movie about it. Guy Ritchie is making a movie about Lee Murray. Oh. That's how wild this fucking dude is. He's still in jail right now. There's like, I think they stole like $80 million, something crazy like that. But these guys had like full-on tactical gear, fucking machine guns, like the whole thing. UFC fighter Lee Murray who robbed a bank for $90 million. Like,
wait a minute. So this was. Wait a minute. So he robbed the bank and was fighting in the UFC.
He was fighting in the UFC while he was a full-on criminal.
I love that shit.
I mean, a full-on criminal.
That's real outlaw. Like, how can you be? See, that's the kind of shit you were talking about.
Yes.
With John Jones. Where it's
wildness.
Like, where it's like, this isn't enough. This is not enough adrenaline. Been in the UFC.
Well, go to the fight that he had with Anderson, because everybody was scared of Lee Murray. Everybody was scared of Lee Murray. Anderson,
I didn't know that.
Pieced him up. Anderson pieced him up, man. Anderson toyed with him. He played with his food.
This is not, and this is in the UFC?
No, this is in Cage Rage as well. But it was a tough fight because Lee Murray came for blood.
The UFC said, we're going to take you to this nightclub and everything's free and you guys can go and have a good time.
It was post-fight in a super exclusive club in London. The drinks were flowing. At one point, I remember Lee just starts pounding shot after shot after shot.
Free booze and fighters, not always the best idea. And about 5 a.m., they just threw us out in the alley. Someone jumped on my back and wrapped their arm around my neck like they were choking me. I could feel that they were not attempting to choke me. It was more of just playful. My fighter misunderstood and thought that Tito Ortiz's friend was trying to choke me. And so he pulled him off the back of me. I turned around to those two facing each other. Lee Murray's friend, out of nowhere, hit Tito Ortiz's friend a vicious right hand and launched him through the air. And he landed unconscious, and his arm went flying out, and a taxi cab ran over his hand. The entire alley erupted into a brawl.
Like a powder keg, just erupts. You got a fight over there, a fight over there, a fight over there.
Tito Ortiz came running past me, ripping his jacket off, and he was going after Lee Murray. There's Lee Murray backing up, ripping his jacket off. Tito threw a 3-punch combination. Lee Murray ducked out of the way of every punch and returned fire, threw about a 5-punch combination, and every single punch landed.
Lee put him to sleep. He was sleeping before he hit the floor.
And then Lee's trying to, kick him like he's jumping on a rattlesnake. Tito didn't even have a chance to get up.
That's the street, He wanted to make sure he ain't getting up.
So I put my hand on Lee and I said, Lee, you gotta stop and you need to get out of here. And he said, all right, Pat. And he and his friends took off up the alley and disappeared.
It seems like it lasted an hour, but it was maybe a minute or 2 or 3. But holy shit, what went down in that minute or 2 or 3 was wild. It was a complete misunderstanding.
What happened in that famous street fight?
Which one?
Lee Murray. I've got to narrow it down
okay,
for
well,
you.
let me tell you about this one. He turned around and faced me and he hit me with a shot. He dropped me for a second. I came to my feet and I clenched him. And I threw a few knees. Then the police broke us up, and that was it. That was the fight. That was it of it.
Tito was not truthful about what happened. I observed that fight, and I saved his ass from taking more punishment. It's clear cut. I watched it happen.
I want to talk about something that's become a part of MMA folklore, MMA urban myth, which I want to get you to clarify. 2002, London, Tony Strickland, Matt Hughes, Pat MILETICH, Tito Ortiz and a man named Lee Murray got into a street fight where apparently Tito Ortiz got knocked out by Lee Murray.
Not true at all. One of my buddies got beat up. I was getting stomped in the concrete outside, and I came to his rescue. Me, Chuck Liddell, and Damien started to fight. One of the guys sucker punched my friend Damien. or my friend Bo dropped him on the floor. The cab ran over his arm, and Lee Murray was in there. Lee Murray took a swing at me, missed. I took a swing at him, I clinched him, I kneed him. He broke away, he started running away, I started chasing to him, and he turns around and stops and plants his feet. I go to stop and I slide right into him. He clipped me, dropped me, and I popped right back up. Cops came, broke everybody apart. One of the cops said he's gonna squirt me in the face with a mace. I said, go ahead, because by then I was already snapped. I didn't give a shit. I was survival skills, and I was never unconscious at the time. In my whole career, I've never been unconscious, and I never will go unconscious. And I think those stories were fabricated a lot to try to build Lee Murray up, but God looks over all of us. Now he's doing a 10-year prison sentence, so karma's a bitch, huh?
Hello, Lee Murray.
I think the story don't go any further than that. It was an altercation. I was defending my friend, and it was no more than that.